Welcome to a new deep dive. Today we're digging into a pile of sources about a really packed day of baseball, MLB action from July 19th, 2025.
Yeah, quite a day.
It wasn't just any old day either. The sources are calling it like a full spectrum of baseball drama. 17 games across the map.
Mm-hmm.
So our mission today isn't just reading scores. We want to really break down the big outcomes, find the stories behind the stats. What defined this day as teams are getting into the thick of it?
Well, what's really interesting, I think, is that July 19th comes right in the middle of, the dog days of summer.
Right.
And it really emphasized how much every single game counts now. It gave us a pretty clear snapshot of where teams are, maybe confirming what we thought, but also, well, throwing up some surprises too.
Okay, so let's kick off with the games that made the biggest noise. Some teams just ran away with it.
Yeah, definitely some blowouts.
Take the Chicago White Sox. They
Got
just completely took apart the Pittsburgh Pirates, 10-1, a really commanding win. Our sources are highlighting the White Sox offensive prowess. They talk about how disciplined they were, stringing together quality at-bats, working counts.
And if you look at the bigger picture there, a scoreline like 10-1, it's more than just the runs, right? It's psychological.
How so?
Well, for the White Sox, sources say it's a massive confidence boost. They've apparently struggled with runners in scoring positions, so capitalizing like that, big deal.
Yeah.
But for the Pirates, it kind of lays bare some issues, maybe bullpen depth, maybe defensive positioning. It's a tough one to just shake off.
Yeah, I can see that. And then there were the Tampa Bay Rays, probably the most dominant game of the day, crushing the Orioles 11-1.
Wow, yeah.
The sources called it a complete team effort. I think they had something like 14 hits. Every starter reached base.
That kind of offensive explosion, I mean, especially against a division rival like Baltimore, that sends a message. And it tells the league, the Rays are still a major force. They can turn good pitches into hard contact. But for the O's, yeah, one game isn't everything, but a loss like that, it can definitely rattle a team. Maybe exposes starter command issues or, relievers struggling to stop the bleeding.
Makes sense. And the San Diego Padres also looked really sharp. They beat the Washington Nationals 7-2. Sources said the Padres appear to be clicking on all cylinders.
Right, and that game, it really showcased the difference between a contender and, a team that's still developing.
Yeah.
The Padres didn't just score runs. They played fundamentally sound baseball, good situational hitting, clean defense. The Nats, they're rebuilding. They show flashes, sure, but the sources point to inconsistency, plate discipline, closing out innings. It's still a work in progress.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Things got really interesting with the doubleheaders. That's always a huge test. July 19th saw 3 teams sweep their doubleheaders. That says a lot about depth, about focus. It's a massive achievement.
Absolutely monumental.
So first up, the Toronto Blue Jays. They really handled the San Francisco Giants, winning both games. A 4-0 shutout and a 6-3 win.
What's really telling there is how they won both. The shutout game 1 that screams pitching and defense apparently turned, 4 double plays?
Wow.
Then game 2, the offense kicks in, they adapt, score runs differently, show they could hit lefties well in that second game. For the Giants, though, scoring basically nothing across 2 games, batting under .200 for the day, that's got to force some tough conversations about their hitting approach.
Definitely. Then you had the Miami Marlins. They also had a great day, squeeging the Kansas City Royals, an 8-7 nail-biter first.
A real slugfest, yeah.
Followed by a tighter 3-1 win.
And those 2 wins for Miami, they really highlight resilience, versatility. Game 1, that 8-7 marathon, shows they can just, outlast an opponent. Offensive depth, mental toughness to come back. Then they follow it up with a 3-1 game where the pitching clamps down. Held the Royals to just 4 hits in game 2, apparently. That ability to win different types of games, that's what good teams do. The Royals, they just couldn't quite find that clutch hit late, sounds like.
And the third sweep. The Cincinnati Reds took both from the New York Mets, 8-4 and 5-2.
Yeah, another big sweep, especially for their division hopes. Those non-conference wins can add up. Their offense was just humming.
In sync was the phrase used.
Exactly. Consistent runs in both games. Drew a ton of walks, too, like 13 combined. That kind of sustained pressure over 18 innings, that builds serious confidence. But for the Mets, dropping both, ouch. Sources hint at maybe fatigue, maybe just not adjusting, especially to the Reds' base running, a definite setback.
Okay, so lots of offense, but not everywhere. Some games were all about the pitching.
Absolutely. Pitching duels?
Like the Texas Rangers blanking the Detroit Tigers, 2-0. Sources called it a pitching duel.
Yeah, and you got to give massive credit to the Rangers pitching staff there. Winning tight, low-scoring games like that takes, well, great work on the mound and sharp defense behind them. Sources mentioned their starters had really good command of their off-speed stuff, curveballs, changeups, getting lots of swings and misses against Detroit's power.
But maybe the biggest pitching win, strategically speaking anyway, was the Milwaukee Brewers shutting out the Los Angeles Dodgers 2-0.
Oh, definitely. Why so significant? Well, think about it. The Dodgers have arguably, one of the scariest lineups in baseball. Deep, high on-base guys everywhere.
Right.
So to shut them out completely, that takes amazing pitching, sure, but also perfect defense and just like flawless game planning. You have to know their hitters inside out.
So it's more than just one win for the Brewers.
Absolutely. It boosts them in the standings, obviously,
Right.
but it also sends a ripple effect through the league. It says, hey, we can shut down anyone. That's serious contender talk.
Let's touch on a few other interesting results. Some big matchups, some close calls. The Atlanta Braves kept rolling, beat the New York Yankees 7-3.
Yeah, those interleague games between big names, they always feel like a bit of a measuring stick, don't they? Atlanta winning against a team like the Yankees just kind of reinforces their own elite status, shows they can execute under that kind of pressure. Sources said the Braves' offense was just more consistent, especially with runners on, compared to the Yankees, who had maybe more sporadic power.
Then a real squeaker.
Yeah.
The Philadelphia Phillies just got past the Los Angeles Angels 6-5.
Right, and even though the Angels lost, the reports mentioned they showed considerable fight, rallied late, 7th, 8th inning.
Yeah.
Those close losses, while frustrating, they can still build some character, shows the team can compete. Maybe they just need a little more from the bullpen to close those out. Gives them something to build on.
Elsewhere, the Cleveland Guardians won a high-scoring one against the Oakland Athletics 8-6, and the Colorado Rockies beat the Minnesota Twins 6-4 at Coors.
Yeah, the Guardians game sounds like they just kept answering back. Showed resilience, Gave up runs, scored runs right back. The Rockies, well, winning at Coors 6-4. That's kind of leveraging that home field, right? More extra base hits in that thin air. And Arizona also had a good offensive day, beating St. Louis 7-3. Sounds like the Cardinals might need to tighten things up. Maybe fastball command was an issue there.
So wrapping this all up, looking back at this incredibly busy July 19th, it really feels like, as the sources put it, a tapestry woven with threads of triumph, resilience, and stark contrasts. Just encapsulates this point in the season.
It really does. July 19th felt like a miniature version of the whole season, didn't it? That relentless grind where every game matters. You see teams starting to really show who they are. Yesterday gave us some pretty crucial clues about who's hitting their stride and, well, who's maybe still trying to figure things out before the trade deadline hits.
Yeah, these stories, the big wins, the shutouts, those tough doubleheader sweeps, they're definitely going to echo as we get closer to the playoffs.
So thinking about all that, those dominant wins, the sweeps we talked about, especially now deep in the summer grind, what do you think? What's the real long-term psychological impact on a team during these dog days? Does one amazing day or one terrible day actually change a team's whole path? Or is baseball just such a day in, day out sport that it ends up being, just a blip, good or bad, in a much longer story?